All right, now we move to Saturday. Illinois, Maryland. Maryland, 14-point home favorites, 51 being the total in this game. If you've been betting against Illinois all season, you're doing quite well, and you're quite profitable. And talked about it last week, the Friday night game on this show, Nebraska, Illinois. I said, there's no way I can lay points with Illinois. I took Nebraska plus the 3.5. Nebraska wins outright. Illinois' offense is, again, didn't do much. Luke Altmaier has had just a brutal season. He's been really, really bad. And I expected a lot better from him coming over from Ole Miss, and he just hasn't played well. The run game is not there. The O-line play isn't there, and the defense isn't as good. Not close to what the defense was for Brett Bielema's team last year. Now you play Maryland. But Maryland here off the big Ohio State effort where they were in that game for a large portion of it. Wire-to-wire point spread cover in that game if you took Maryland. But the second half, the offense bogged down. After Little Tua had a pretty strong start, they couldn't keep that offense sustained in the second half. 37-17 was the final score in favor of Ohio State. Again, keep in mind, actually, you know what? As far as the cover goes, I'm saying cover because I got them early in the week at 20.5.
Yeah, it depends where you got.
Depends on when you got it. You're right, because I know if you got Maryland at the closing number, and there was even more money coming in because Travion Henderson, the running back for Ohio State, was ruled out right before kickoff. And by kickoff, it was like 17.5, 18. So if you got the closing number, you didn't cover with Maryland. But it was a pretty solid effort for a team that's had a really tough time in Columbus in recent meetings. They're the better of these two teams. Do I want to lay 14 with them in this spot? I'll say this, at home, they have destroyed teams. So maybe we can lay. It would be Maryland or nothing for me. Don't know if I'll lay the 14, but I'll think about it. I'll say this, against teams that they're better than, and they can outman. And I think Illinois is a team they should be able to control at the line of scrimmage. They beat Virginia by 28, 42-14. The last Big Ten opponent at home for Maryland was Indiana, who really, to be honest, aren't that much worse than Illinois right now. And Maryland beat them 44-17. So to me, this is Maryland or pass. It's just a question of, do you want to lay the points? What do you think, C-Mac?
Bingo. How can you want to back this Illinois team? 0-7 ATS, its last 7. They can't do anything right. It's just all aspects of their team, offense, defense, the line, the secondary. It's just not good. Yeah, that Nebraska win, I thought, was pretty easy. Maryland last week, I thought they looked great the first half. Baby Tua looked pretty good, and then he had some bad picks. Second half, it got away from him. I think we talked about it last week. Like, if he's clean, because if he makes some mistakes, that's when it gets away, and it did. And some people, because I thought, that they should have covered that whole game. They're back here at home. They should be able to move the ball. It just, I lean, but I don't really want to lay 2 touchdowns here with Maryland. I think they win, but I won't be on it.
All right. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm like, it's Maryland or pass. And I don't know if I'll end up actually going forward and taking it. And this, after the big Ohio State effort, I worry about the sleepwalk, especially early in the game from Maryland. We did see that against Charlotte. That Saturday night home game, that's another thing why I'm hesitant. That Charlotte game on a Saturday night at home, and Maryland couldn't have played a worse first half, and it took them a while to get going, and they didn't come close to covering the point spread that night. So
what was that one? Indiana too. Yeah. Weren't they tied, or was it Virginia was tied, and they blew them out second half? It was 14-14 Virginia. Yeah. 14-14, and then they blew them out in the second.
Yeah, that was definitely Virginia as far as that game. But yeah, so they have had some slow starts at home, a couple. And I worry about that here. But other than that, it's certainly not going to be anything that gets me to bet Illinois. That's for sure.